Hi students, in this video I'm going to give you a guide to citations in the class. A lot of times students get themselves into a lot of trouble omitting citations or doing poor citations. Some students are anxious about the expectations for citations, and so my hope in this video is to make it very clear how I expect you to use citations during this class. It is very important that whenever you're in doubt about this, you contact me and you talk to me and you ask me questions. Anything that you're unsure of, it's much better to ask ahead of time. It's also much better to cite before when you're in doubt. It's understood that you're in an introductory level class. You're not expected to have lots of original thoughts. It's much better, in fact, when you're in an introductory course to show that you're using material from more experienced historians. And if you're not citing your sources, you leave yourself open to a charge of plagiarism. So when you get to the end of one of your bi-weekly essays, or you get to the end of your paper and you don't have any citations, that's a huge problem. Worst case scenario, you're leaving yourself open to a charge of plagiarism. Best case scenario, you're looking at a very low grade because your scores for evidence used and your scores for the format and the way in which you've shaped your argument are going to be extremely low. So cite frequently. In this class, we're going to use footnotes. So no in-text citations. We want to use footnotes, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we go into Word here. I have a little dummy document set up. And you're going to go to the Reference tab. So when you get to the end of your sentence and you put a period, don't go messing around with superscripts or anything like that. Word will do a lot of the work for you if you follow this approach. You go to References, and you go to Insert Footnote. Okay. Now you have your footnote. You do this every time because look, the next time you finish a sentence, hit insert footnote again, it'll give you the next number. So Word will make this very straightforward for you if you give it a chance. So the first source I'm going to show you how to cite is going to be an online source. Lots of people use online sources now. There's nothing wrong with that. Lots of great online sources out there. Make sure you do use a good online source. Don't use Wikipedia. Maybe use what Wikipedia is citing to get closer to the original research. This source, not one we'll use for this class, but it's a good source. Ancient History Encyclopedia. All I want you to do is to copy the URL. Then you go back, you find your footnote, and you paste the URL in there. Okay, pretty straightforward. And now I'm just going to show you how to do it for the two main books, show you how I want you to cite sources for the two main books that we're using for this course. First, we're going to use the textbook. That's going to be our footnote number 2. And it's going to be very simple. You're going to do the author's name, comma, the title, America and Narrative History, you don't need to worry about the edition. Actually, you don't need to worry about the publisher either. And narrative history, comma, and then the page number, 33. If you're citing from Johnson Reading the American Past, so let's say you come to the end of another sentence, put a footnote, insert footnote, just as we did before. And this time it's going to be a little different. I'm going to go to one of sources that we're using. Let's say we'll do a conquistador arrives in America. Because a conquistador arrives in America is a chapter within, or counts as a chapter within a bigger book, you're going to put that in quotation marks. A conquistador arrives in, gosh, there we go. And then after that, back up here, syllabus gives it to you. And then you're going to put the title, Reading the American Past, comma, and then Ed, period, Johnson, the editor of the whole book, and then you're going to provide the page number, 12. Okay, so that's the way to cite the textbook. It's the way to cite a source that you get online, and it's the way to cite an article within a bigger book or an article within the source book. So that should give you a lot that you need to get going with your citations to this class. As I say, always ask me, never hesitate to ask me, never hesitate to use footnotes and to cite where you're getting your information from. Hope this is helpful. As I say, always ask if you have any questions.